I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, and many more cool things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures. Like always, a huge thanks goes to my Patreon supporters who really and truly make this podcast possible. Without your generous support each month, I wouldn't be able to create this podcast. So a big thanks to all of you for, again, making I'm Gaming Podcast possible. Everyone else, please check out my Patreon supporters and their ventures in the description below. And give them a follow, give them a download, give them a purchase. They all deserve it. This is episode 152, and in it, I'm talking about a really good, excellent actually, film currently playing on Netflix, currently available on Netflix, called The Stranger from 2022. It's a psychological crime drama, and I recently watched it and I was completely blown away by it. Its effectiveness, its immersiveness, and the sheer strength of the duo that is actually playing the two main characters. These actors are veteran actors, both are excellent, both actually appeared previously in another film called The King, or King, which is also available on Netflix. And one of them is Sean Harris, who is basically the main character, and Joel Egerton. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly, Egerton. They are completely and utterly fantastic. The film was both written and directed by Thomas M. Wright, an Australian film director, and he really created truly a modern masterpiece. I'm certain that this film is going to impress many and it's going to stay relevant for decades to come. The plot is basically about a drifter, a loner played by Sean Harris, who is called Henry and who is a suspect in a gruesome abduction and murder of a teen boy. However, the film takes place several years after that, where the police are trying to figure out if he did really take place or take part in the same crime. And to do that, they create an elaborate sting operation to actually kind of trap him. That is the premise. Later on, Joel comes in, another character who is Mark, and the two of them have a really odd and really unusual relationship. However, it fits perfectly in this setup of exceedingly high tension, endless pressure, and this kind of psychological boiling process that takes place from one moment to the next in The Stranger, creating an incredible atmosphere, which is actually perfectly combined with these long, slow shots of nature and environment, and often rooms full of people that are really still, that are really quiet, giving it sort of a Renaissance painting atmosphere. And this mixture of unusual elements put together really provide a unique and impactful work of art that is on the surface very similar to many other crime dramas of this kind, but when you get into it almost immediately, you see that it's something completely different. At least for me, this whole setup, the premise of the plot, which I really enjoy as a narrative designer, I love to explore and work inside of different narrative setups. The narrative, in this case, the plot, is really, for me, something I didn't see anywhere before, and that uniqueness combined with a relative mundane and everyday nature of the whole, even though crime still something that happens all of the time across the world, sadly, still makes it something really potent and really different. So throughout the film, the psychological tension keeps ramping up, and results in a perfect ending that is delivered in tune with the rest of the film, but which still kind of keeps you at the edge of your seat, and until the very end you kind of can't guess where the plot is going. Even though it's not a mystery per se, it's still something that is at least for me, deeply connecting to some kind of primeval sense of dread and fear and danger, even when that danger comes in a very mundane package. So I have to say that this, in my view, this film, The Stranger from 2022, is truly a masterpiece. Thomas M. Wright, the director and writer, really did an incredible job with it. I'm hoping to see many more great movies from the same man, and I'm certain that he will be able to deliver them. Again, both actors as well, main actors who are Sean Harris and Joel Egerton, also do a fantastic job. So please check it out. The Stranger 2022, it's most definitely one of the best movies of the year I saw, at least, and I'm certain that it's going to remain the same in the years to come as well. That's all for this episode. It's basically been a review, assessment of the narrative behind The Stranger. If you're stuck through the very end, please consider supporting me by subscribing to my channel, leaving a like, leaving a comment if you did see The Stranger, and telling me what you thought about it. There is also a bunch of other ways how you can support me, but they all include giving me money. So if that's not your thing at the present moment or ever, feel free to ignore that completely. That's all from me. My name is Ivica. I'll see you on episode 153 in precisely 7 days from now. Until then, have a great weekend. Bye bye.